Okay, this video is a request by a subscriber who I shown some of my hockey jerseys to last night on my live stream, and it charts the struggles of British ice hockey. No ads, some ads, lots of ads, thousands of ads, and you can see from each league my team has been in since I've been watching the issues with British ice hockey. So we're going to start in 1995. I was going to look at an earlier remit, but that's so much to cover, and there's a lot to cover in just 23 years. You'll be surprised what can happen in 23 years. Now, this is just after the first NHL lockout season, and this is just before, well, and it carries through to the last two lockouts, so this is kind of crucial. So the Superleague there's a group of clubs, and they want to form a new top tier in British ice hockey. They're going to secure TV rights, sponsorship deal, and the salary cap is going to be nice level, and good players are going to play in it. It's called the Super League. The idea came about in '95, and the first season was played exactly a year later, so all these teams could finish their regular seasons in the British National League, which we'll get on to later on in the video. So the first season is played in '96, '97, and the clubs that formed it were the Ayr Scottish Eagles. They don't exist anymore. They're not a team anymore. They ceased to exist years ago. The Basingstoke Bison, who nearly went bust several times, and they still exist. Bracknell Bees, we still exist. The Cardiff Devils, they did go out of business for a while, and they reformed, and now they're one of the best teams in the Elite League, and they've just won the Elite League again. Manchester Storm, they went out of business for a while, had to reform in 2015. They're now in the Elite League. The Newcastle Cobras, they don't exist anymore. They're gone. Nottingham Panthers, Sheffield Steelers, founders of the Elite League, very crucial, remember those names. London Knights joined in '98, they don't exist anymore. And the Belfast Giants joined in 2000, again, founders of the Elite League, very important. There is an issue, and here's the issue. By 2003, only 4 British-born players, or British-trained players, should I say, were playing in Super League. And the salary cap was far too high. It reached 400,000, and we hadn't got a secure TV deal, and the main sponsor, Seconda Watches, had pulled out. So it was now Heineken, I believe, or Seconda. It was one of the main sponsors that pulled out. So there was money issues. Ayr and Newcastle and Manchester all went, well, we have money problems, and the Newcastle Cobras had changed names twice more to the Jesters and the Vipers. They don't exist anymore. Out of that, 3 teams in Nottingham, Sheffield and Belfast formed the Elite League, which we'll get to later in the video. The other teams either go out of business or join the British National League, which itself went out of business in 2005, which is at the time of the year-long lockout. So in that season, many NHL players in 2004-2005 came over here, which hastened the collapse of the British National League because of, well, I believe the NHL paid their salaries, but we as clubs had to pay for their upkeep, their equipment, and their lodgings, which came out the club budgets and caused further issues. The British National League collapsed. The EPIHL used to be the 3rd tier of British ice hockey, and in 2006 it's been elevated a level. It's gone up. So in 2006, loads of teams join, and other teams join the Elite League. So we've got 2 professional leagues. We've got the top professional league and the lower professional league. And in the EPIHL, you're only allowed to have 4 foreign players, plus a 5th one as an emergency backup. The rest of the team must be British or trained in Britain. Very important rule because it was classed as a developmental professional league. That was the rule. The Elite League does have some roster rules on how many foreign players you can have, but you're allowed to have more, which is the Elite League's preference. So that's that. And below that, we have another league called the National Ice Hockey League. Yes, we have our own NHL, except there's an I in there. It's NIHL, and that's crucial later on in the video. So, we've now reached just after the year-long lockout of the NHL. This is where we're at. And let's have a look. There's other teams that have come and gone. Okay, these are some teams that I know have gone bust. The Hull Stingrays and the Whitlink Raiders. At various points, they played in the British National League, the Elite League, and the EPIHL. Those teams no longer exist. That's 2 more teams that have gone by the wayside. Now, let's fast forward 12 years, okay? 12 years later, we are now the last season of the EPIHL, and this is crucial. Basingstoke Bison, They have issues with their ice rink, their arena. It's in a bad state of repair, but their future is looking a little bit more certain than it was 6 months ago. They've sort of come to an agreement where the owners of the rink are going to try and repair it as much as possible to keep it going until a new one can be built. Bracknell Bees and Basingstoke Bison, so my team Bracknell and Basingstoke Bison were at one point owned by the same people, and both teams almost went out of business. So the fact that we're both still going is amazing. We're better off now, but at the time there was issues. The Hull Pirates, very good side. Peterborough Phantoms, they're a good side. Sheffield Steel Dogs, the baby Sheffield team, the Goon Squad. Swindon Wildcats, they were in the EPIHL from its founding to its dissolution. They were the only team to stay the whole way through. They are a very good team. They have some very, very good players, including Max Babirier, who was actually drafted by the NHL New Jersey Devils in 2001. Telford Tigers. 2 teams left the league to go to the Elite League, and that was the Guildford Flames and the Milton Keynes Lightning. They were invited to join the Elite League to expand it to its current size. So that left us with 8, or did it? Did not, because Manchester Phoenix, the 8th team and the team that was basically bottom of the league and hopeless, went out of business. They went bust halfway through the season. They collapsed. So that left us with 7 competitive teams to start this season just gone. And it was decided that they couldn't find 3 more teams to join from the NIHL system because the running costs would be too high and prohibitive for some of those teams, and the travel costs would be too much. So the EPIHL, which covered the whole of England from north to south, decided to disband. Great sadness after how long? A lot. Well, it was been going longer than 2006, but it decided to disband after 11 years of being the second tier of British ice hockey with great success, and some great players have played in the league and have gone on to play in the Elite League. We've had some great foreign players who played in various leagues, and some have actually played in the AHL, such as Lucas Smittle. Check his name out. Lucas Smittle, ex-AHL for the St John's Ice Caps. Undrafted, but he played there for a while, and he ended up playing for both Guildford and Bracknell. So he was our player coach for a while until last year. So check out Lucas Smittle. So at the moment in the Elite League, this is what has just finished the 2017-2018 season. Belfast Giants, founders of the league. The Braehead clan, sort of successors to the Ayr Scottish Eagles. They play in the same area of Scotland. Cardiff Devils, they had to reform. The Coventry Blaze, the Dundee Stars, the Edinburgh Capitals, although the Edinburgh Capitals do have some financial problems right now and the league is trying to find a solution, but they are going to be playing next year. Five Flyers, one of the oldest ice hockey teams in continuous existence in the UK. Guildford Flames, as mentioned, were playing in the EPIHL the year before, were invited up. The Manchester Storm took a long time to reform. They went out of business, obviously, when I mentioned the Superleague, and they reformed in 2015. And they now have financial, Manchester ice hockey teams tend to go in and out of business quite a lot. Milton Keynes Lightning, as I said, they were also playing in the league that Bracknell were in. They got moved up a league. And of course the Nottingham Panthers and the Sheffield Steelers. That is the Elite League right now. The NIHL system is more complicated, and I'm not going to confuse you with it. It's split into 4 divisions, 2 North, 2 South. So you've got Division 1 North, Division 1 South, Division 2 North, Division 2 South. And the playoff structure means the winners of the playoffs in North and South meet in the finals. There's the final 4, so the top 2 from Division 1 North and the top 2 from Division 1 South meet in the final series. Same for the lower divisions as well. So apart from that, the leagues are separate until playoff time right at the end, which is a very interesting system, and it's a very fun system. I'm not going to go through the whole list of teams in the NIHL, but Basingstoke, Bracknell, Peterborough, Swindon, they're in the South Division 1, and Telford, Sheffield and Hull have gone up to National Division 1 North. Now when I say Sheffield, I mean the Steel Dogs, and when I say Hull, I mean the Pirates, not the Stingrays, because they don't exist anymore. They have reformed and they're in Division 2 South, so there's that. So the issue is, since '95, we've had 1, 2, 3 leagues in this country either collapse or have to go out of business because of lack of interest. Not because of lack of interest from the fans and the players, it's the cost side of it. So, if you watched my live stream last night, you would have seen that I had my hockey jerseys dating from the late-ish 90s, so just about the time of the Super League. One was British National, one was Super League, one was British National League-ish on the crossover, the last season of Super League involvement. And then we had the EPIHL jersey, and then we had this year's commemorative 30th anniversary special jersey for the EIHL. And you notice the advertising gets more and more and more as time goes on. And it is a shame, but it's how the teams and the leagues survive. It's by small businesses that are local to each team going, can we advertise because we want to increase our brand? And when you've got about 2,000 to 3,000 people watching a game, it helps. The Elite League, they attract a bit more because some of those rinks are big. The Coventry Blazers rink is huge. Cardiff's rink's quite big. Belfast have got a big rink. You might get around 12,000 people watching a game if on a good day. There are British ice hockey fans and there are British ice hockey teams. The sad thing is we haven't had the greatest stability in the league structure, and we go from season to season worrying about what is going to happen after the off season. Every off season is a panic time for every ice hockey team, whether the teams we follow and love will come back for another season, and whether what league will we be in, and what will the quality of the product on the ice be. There is that, and that has been going on consistently since 2003. The Super League failure nearly killed British ice hockey. The success of the Elite League has saved it. But anyway, I want to say thank you very much for watching. This is a brief history, but I will mention two things that I want you to check out. The Battle of Lower Parliament Street in 2001, that is on YouTube, check it out, and the 1936 gold medal winning British team from the Olympics, Winter Olympics in 1936. Also, check out Lucas Schmittel. He used to play in the EIHL and he ended up playing for both Guildford and Bracknell until last year when he retired. Well, he's now coaching Slough Jets, and that's another team that was in a higher level of British ice hockey, but also money problems had to drop down a level. They're still going. But yeah, check him out. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, place your comments below, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.